Welcome. So, this is a Juneteenth reflection, a sacred time to remember our collective past, but also to reclaim our present and our future. So, Juneteenth marks the day in 1865 when over 250,000 enslaved people in Texas, Galveston to be exact, finally learned that they were free more than 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation was issued. It's a celebration of freedom, absolutely, but it's also a reminder of the systems that have tried to delay, deny, and distort our liberation. So today I want to talk about how we may have internalized the messages of our oppressors and how we can begin to heal. So let's start with this. Right? Systems of white supremacy, of racial capitalism, and patriarchy don't just operate externally. They teach us how to see ourselves. Over generations, we may have been taught that our worth depends on our productivity, that we must be strong, flawless, or perfect to be accepted, that our rest, our softness, and our emotions, our liabilities, our flaws, that questioning authority or asserting our needs is doing too much. These messages have been reinforced so often in school systems, workplaces, media, even sometimes within our own families, maybe trying to help us survive. And so the voice of our oppressors can often show up as our inner critic. It can be the little voice that says, "You're not good enough. Who do you think you are? You're going to have to work harder to prove that you're worthy." And it's important to realize that this is not your voice. It is a voice you have internalized. It is a voice that you were taught. But Juneteenth can really invite us to ask ourselves, what else are we carrying that was never meant to be ours that it's time to release? So how this may show up for sensitive Black women, since this is the focus of my channel, and please subscribe if you're not already. If you are a sensitive Black woman, whether you identify as empathic, intuitive, introverted, or just deeply feeling, this legacy can feel even heavier because you're not just navigating the noise, the chaos in the world externally, you're often absorbing it. You may be managing everyone else's needs while silencing your own. You may be striving to be excellent while battling a voice inside on repeat that says you're still not enough. And so perfectionism, people pleasing, overthinking, these can often become survival strategies within systems of oppression. They can be how we've learned to stay safe in a world that has told us that we have to earn our place, earn our rest, earn our humanity, while dehumanizing us at the same time. But here's the truth. You don't have to earn any of those things because you already are worthy. You already are powerful. You already are enough exactly as you are. So how do we begin to heal from these messages that we may have internalized? A first step may be to name the voice. So when that inner critic shows up, maybe asking yourself, whose voice is this? Who told me this message that I'm now repeating back to myself internally? Was it a teacher? Was it a parent maybe trying to protect you from a harmful experience that they had? Was it a system trying to control you or give you the message that you are inferior? Naming this can help you detach from it and reclaim your authentic voice and your authentic self. Another step can be reclaiming your narrative. So replacing that voice that's on repeat, that's constantly criticizing you internally, with one that really reflects your truth, your power, your brilliance inherently. So instead of repeating to yourself on a loop, I have to be perfect at this, I can't make a mistake, could you choose to repeat to yourself, my presence is enough, I came here worthy, and nothing will ever change that, right? So changing the messages that we repeat to ourselves and realizing that we have the power to do so. Creating a safe space for your inner wisdom, right? So I specifically created my upcoming healing program, Silence Your Inner Critic, for sensitive Black women who are ready to unlearn the noise and reconnect to the wisdom that we have within us. So really understanding that a lot of these messages are rooted in trauma, things that we've experienced in traumatic environments, places, people, and coming back to the truth of who we are. So this program includes trauma-informed tools, somatic practices, and guided reflection to quiet that inner critical voice that tells you that you're not enough, that tells you that you have to be perfect in order to do anything, and begin writing a new story for your life, one rooted in truth, in liberation, and one that honors your sensitivity as a gift, right? Because healing is really about coming back into who you are, who you truly have always been. And so today, on Juneteenth, I invite you to celebrate the liberation, right, of our ancestors who liberated themselves from the institution of enslavement, but also celebrating your liberation too, your personal liberation. This can be a turning point, a sacred interruption, a moment where you choose to no longer carry what was never yours in the first place. Knowing that you are able to return home to yourself at any point, it's never too late to heal from past wounds. And I would love to welcome you into Silence Your Inner Critic. If you are ready to take the next step in that journey, if you are a sensitive and or introverted Black woman on a healing journey of silencing your inner critic, unlearning negative self-talk, and reclaiming your authentic voice. All right, so the link is here on the screen, silenceinnercritic.carved with 2Rs.co, also in the description section. But I want you to remember as we close that healing is your birthright, and you do not have to do it alone. That is what I created this healing program for us to heal and reclaim our gifts in sacred community. And I want you to know, right, that you have the power to reclaim any part of yourself that someone tried to convince you was wrong, right? We have the power to reframe and relabel these traits that include sensitivity as sacred gifts, not as flaws, but as a tool we can actually use as a compass in life to guide us through turbulent times like the ones that we're in. And so as we wrap up, I want to say to those who are celebrating Juneteenth, I honor, right, this day, which often brings up a lot of complicated emotions for me. And if you're feeling the same way, know that you're not alone. But know, as we end today, that you are already free. Thank you.